Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we do have the full moon that comes in on the 7th, and then, of course, the waning gibbous after. And that full moon energy can be a time of heightened emotions. It can be a time of feeling overwhelmed and anxious, maybe snappy, a little bit irritable. You might have disruptions in your sleeping patterns, but it's just a very high energy time. For some, it can be negative. For me, it's always very positive. I might even seem a little bit manic during a full moon. I just feel it's when I have the best and just the most energy. So I try to get some things done during that time. That's probably, you might find me up at 1 a.m. with my kitchen ripped apart because I'm cleaning or reorganizing it, that sort of thing. But I've always tried to use that full moon energy to my benefit, get things done that maybe later in the month that I'm thinking, oh, don't want to do that. It's just a lot of energy. Anyway, just saying, then we do move into the waning gibbous after that. And that's a really good time. It's like breathing out from that energy. And it's a time of self reflection and rebirth. A really good time to make positive changes, get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and move forward as we, start to enter into that next cycle. So keep, excuse me, those moon energies in mind. Let me grab a drink real quick. Keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. So, your overall message for this reading, Scorpio, a time for healing. All right, let's see what you guys have going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder this week, Scorpio, is that you get out into nature. And if you are in a time for healing right now, it's the best medicine is to get out, get out of the house, get to a park, get somewhere where there's, just beautiful trees and grass and, maybe birds. I love feeding birds. I feed birds in my backyard and my hummingbirds are gone now, but I love them when they come around, or just all the birds that are in the yard. They're really fun to just watch, and you can really just let your mind go when you're watching them. You might study a tree or a plant for a little longer than you would. But just get out into nature a little bit, especially if you are on some sort of healing journey right now. It really is great for you. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into this reading. Scorpio, October 5th through the 11th, a time for healing. And your overall present energy is you're feeling a little bit like it's you against the world. And, that is how we feel sometimes. So, think about what's going on for you there. And maybe evaluate that just a little bit. Why are you feeling like that? Is it valid? Something going on there, your current situation is that you're also feeling a little bit celebrated by the world. So, which is it? We've got 6 and 7 there. So, feeling like you against the world, but also feeling a little bit victorious. I mean, maybe it was you against the world, but it's been kind of a little inner victory for you. What is at the root of your situation is the King of Pentacles. So, this could have been something in maybe the financial or the material realm, and maybe you've gone through just an example, but maybe you were purchasing a home and you were feeling like, oh, it's you against the world, but you finally signed a contract and you're having a little victory there. So, the King of Pentacles is definitely someone who has mastery over the material world. This could be not only finances, but material things, the place where you live, the things that are in there, anything that's tangible that we can touch. The King of Pentacles definitely has a knowledge about those things and is able to kind of make things happen in that manner. In your recent past is the Hanged Man. So you had something in your recent past that has caused you to have a new perspective on things, and it looks like you're using that to move through. Maybe that new perspective made you feel like it was you against the world. Sometimes when we learn something and we have a perspective change, it's hard for the people around you to really understand why you've changed, and you're feeling victorious about it, but you might have people kind of questioning that. Well, why are you doing that thing now? So, but it's okay. You're going to be fine. What's on your mind this week is the 10 of Pentacles. So, wow, I love that you have the King and the 10 both on your mind and at the root of your situation, because it's almost like this is someone who's really, if you haven't in the past had your crap together, you're getting it together now. And on your mind is kind of the long term. I mean, actually, my analogy about purchasing a house might have been spot on for some of you, because you're thinking about things long term. You're thinking about long term, wealth security for your, and not only your family, but the generations that come after you. For some of you, this could be a business move that you'd made, that you've had a new perspective. You're really fighting some people around you, but you're feeling victorious because you're like, hey, I was right. I called that one, right? So I do love that. What is just ahead of you this week is a little rest and meditation. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe you've been working so hard, excuse me, whatever this is, that you do need to just slow down this week. It's a time for healing. It's a time to just kind of let things be as they are. You've done the hard work, and it's just time to relax a little bit. Scorpios, you guys can be very intense. And if this is something that you were intently working on, I'm sure it was getting all of your energy, and you're feeling a little bit zapped. So it's time to just rest, relax a little bit. I know we've got this full moon energy, but you might want to do some meditative techniques. And again, get out in nature. If you've got some extra energy, that's a really good way to heal without just kind of lounging around, right? All right. What is in your advice position is truth with the justice card here. So this is, the advice here is just to go ahead and be in the truth. I feel like you've maybe found that you're sitting in a place with some equilibrium. I feel like you're it's like some reward that you're gaining. Things are in order. You feel like things are fair, and just everything's kind of balanced and where they should be. We've got the balancing here of the scales, and kind of the declaration of the sword of like, this is truth. It is what it is. So go ahead and sit in that energy. That's your advice, is to do that. What is beyond your control this week is some happiness here. This is like the ultimate happiness. So I feel like this is a good time for your family. These decisions, excuse me, let me grab a drink real quick. These decisions that you're making, and whatever you've just gone through, or I feel like you've gone through it, and we're at this resting, healing time. But whatever it is, it's good things for your family, and you're really thinking, it's like you're moving in the right direction to think about long-term planning. It's not just about the next 5 months, but you're thinking about the next 5 years, the next 10, 15 years ahead, which is awesome. And your family is definitely going to reap the benefits of your forethought right now. So keep at it. I love that. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Empress. Huh, interesting. This, for some of you, are you trying to start a family? Are you trying to add to your family? This is definitely the pregnancy card. So is that your secret desire? Or if you are trying to avoid that, this will be your warning to make sure that you do try to avoid that, because of the position of this card, because it's either your secret desire or it's what you're trying to avoid there. But, the Empress is definitely, like I was talking about, long term. And if it's not about a baby, which sometimes it is, I definitely have to put that out there. But sometimes the Empress too is about the creativity and making that commitment for something long term, of course, like a baby. But it's like giving birth to, like I use the example of owning a home. Owning the home is, or purchasing a home is definitely an Empress thing, because it's something you're going to do for the long term. So any sort of project or investment that you do that is not something that's, that has like a lease on it, like a year lease, right, is not really an Empress move. Purchasing a home is, buying a car that you, that you want to have for a long time, is an Empress type move. Something you're really going to, accepting a job that is a long-term type job is another Empress move. So it's creativity, and it's about, literally conceiving that idea that you want to see through to the long term. So keep that in mind. I hope that made sense. In your outcome position is, here you are thinking about the future. You've got the world in your hands. This is definitely the achievement of a pretty big goal for you, which I love. I love this reading. And it is time for healing. It's time for you to rest. You have done this work. You have put the time in. I feel like your mind and body, everything has been stressed to the point of just relax. It's time to rest and relax. And again, get out in nature if you can this week. Do this thing for the inner healing and feel the satisfaction and the joy of the success that you have had, which is really, really awesome. What's hidden from you this week? Whoops, is the devil. My favorite place for that card to be. Awesome. What else can I say? That's false truths. That's not feeling confident. That's dependency. It can be about insecurities or self-doubt. You don't have any of that this week. And I love, again, that's my favorite place for that card to be. So, all right, Soul Oracle deck for Scorpio. Let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say for this reading, which I'm finding to be so positive. Let's look at the numerology here. I think we did have two. Yeah, no, we didn't. Nope. You're good there. Don't see anything significant jumping out at me. All right. So Oracle deck says seek hidden treasure. I don't even think I've ever seen that card. I love it when a card like that comes out that I've never seen, especially on a reading like this. Seek hidden treasure. What are you guys doing, especially with this King of Pentacles and this 10 of Pentacles? I love that. Whatever you guys are doing is lucrative. I don't think I know any Scorpios, but if I did, I would be, asking them for investment advice. You guys are so secretive, you might not give it up, but anyway, all right, let's see what Scorpio needs to do in the way of self-care during this time of healing. So besides this Four of Swords here with the rest and meditation, what do we need to do? I just feel like you need to take a big, deep breath. Okay, authenticity is the card that comes out for you. Live life for you, not the audience in your head. So I think you're having a really good week, Scorpio. You're accomplishing some long-term things. You've had a little bit of success after kind of a new perspective and feeling like, it's you against the world. It is you against the world. We're all kind of in that boat in some way. But it is a time for healing for you. It's a good time. Rest, relax. Again, because of the full moon energy, it might be kind of a weird week to do that because the energy might be a little high. But if you need to get out in nature, go ahead and do that. Even if this is my permission to tell you to take a long weekend, even, maybe get away, just go somewhere and relax a little bit and just kind of just enjoy whatever this is that you've gone through that has been so successful. So, Scorpio, thanks so much for being here this week. I really appreciate your time with me. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use for your week. If you like my reading style, please, of course, like and subscribe, because not only will that help me, which I appreciate that so much, but it'll help you find me next week and we can see where this story goes. So, good luck with all this. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.